Hello, my name is Peter Phelps of Phelps 3D, and in this FreeCAD 016 tutorial I'm doing another lesson out of another Solidworks book. This is Engineering Design with Solidworks 2012 by David C. Planchard and Marie P. Planchard. And we're starting off with the guide rod assembly instruction. Now I'm going to break this up into 3 videos because there's 3 major parts of this, and I just want to show how to design each piece individually for right now. Now I am going to be taking a few liberties with the actual project because there's some stuff that absolutely doesn't make sense to me in the book. In, like, for instance, page 1-64, it's talking about a second fillet that's 10 millimeters, but the width of the item itself is only 5 millimeters. I don't know how to make that happen. Because technically speaking, if I go over 2.5 millimeters, if I even make it 2.5 millimeters, FreeCAD's going to have a fit. It's not going to work. So I'm going to probably set that to like 2 millimeters. Now, this plate is the first part, and its instruction began on page 1-57. And so I'm just going to do this the way I would here in FreeCAD. Create a sketch. I'm in part design. I'm going to do the XZ plane, say OK. I'm going to create a cube box here. And I'm going to sketch 3 circles. Whoops. Double hit the escape. Okay. The length of this is 56. The height of the box, I made it way too big, is 22. I'm going to take and pin that to the plane. Sorry. Not the line. And I'm going to give that symmetric. I'm going to pin this one to this. I'm going to change its radius to 4. Actually 2. I want it to be 4 in diameter, so 2, sorry. Now I'm going to set that one to 11 millimeters in height. And I'll select it, select the other 2 circles with the control. Make them equal. Bring this over here. this, make it 11. Make this one 11. Then there's a certain distance between these two. Come on. Symmetric. Okay, close that. Pad this 5. And we want to select all the edges except the ones that are part of the holes. Hopefully I've got them all. Okay. And I'm going to fillet them 2 millimeters. Well, okay, let's just go 1. Okay. Now, in Solidworks, they have a tool that allows them to set holes to specific sizes for different screws and bolts, etc. Now, FreeCAD doesn't have that type of tool, but FreeCAD does have, if you download it, a macro for making different types of nuts and mostly bolts, though. They call it fasteners. And there's actually a workbench, if you want, you can download, and that workbench attaches to this macro to generate parts. So I'm going to give you an introduction to the macro for that. That's the screw maker. I have 1._7 version, I guess. So I click that, I execute it, and the ones that they're using here are for the middle one is going to be a flathead screw. They said it's ANSI B1.18.6.7M, but we're using the ISO numbers here for the screw types. So the closest I could come up with to that is the ISO 2009. We're going to go M4, and we're going to say 8 millimeters. and I'm leaving it just screw, simple screw, no thread at all, so it's just basically a kind of a placeholder or something I can use to identify what it is. You could, I don't know what the symbol thread is, it says it's not implemented yet. Real thread, it works, but it takes a long time to render it, so I'm just going to create the basic screw here. And then I'm going to create another one that I can copy later. The other two outer holes are using socket type ones. So I'm going to go to socket cap. I'll go M4, and I'm going to make those a little longer, M10, and then so this one of course is ISO 4762. I'm going to say create. Now close the macro, the screw macro, and I'm going to move this up 11. Same with the other one. I'm going to change the axis of it. Is it 0? And I want it to move on X. And I'm not sure if it's 90 or 270. We'll see. And I should look from the front on this. Okay, I wanted it to 270. The other one though, I will probably want to go 90. And then move it on the Y. Move it 11.5. And I'm going to copy that. And this will go positive 11.5. Now, the problem here is trying to figure out this. Because you need to taper that this is to match that, and the best I can figure to try to do is use a cone and try to match the shape of this here. So I'm gonna make this hide for a sec, because this is not like a 45-degree cut into it. Now, the reason I don't just take this and cut it is because, well, as you can see, there's a notch in it. If I tried to cut it, it would leave the little block, this little block here. It would leave that there, and we don't want that. So, I'm going to go to part, and create a cone. Now I know that the inside, the smaller part is still supposed to be 2, so it can stay that way. How high is the thing? So let's look at the top. It has a fillet on it. Okay. In that case, what I need to do is make the cone here. So that's 3. Okay. So the cone height is 3. Because it has a fillet, I'm going to have to add a cylinder and try to fillet it just a bit to get that same sort of round. But for right now, I'm just going to move the cone into position. Not 270. Actually, maybe it should be a cone, a cylinder, another cone. I mean, not, no, cylinder, cone, cylinder. This is the way it's designed. Let's see. This shouldn't have been 3. Come on. Okay. this like 1.5 and move it. Point 0.75. Hopefully that will. Okay, I need to go. That looks good. Okay. I want it to be just a bit bigger than the. Okay, we're gonna fuse all of that together. And just select the screw, make it disappear for a sec. I want to select this line here and fillet it. I think like 0.5 maybe should be good. Yeah, that way we're kind of matching the curvature of the screw. Now, in truth, if you were using this to really cut, I would probably add just a bit in the diameter to make it a little looser, because right now I haven't included any real tolerances here. I just, oops. Come on. Okay, and I'm gonna fillet this just a little bit too. Like 0.25. Oops, it didn't like that. 0.2. Shit. Nope. That's not good. Oh well, forget it. Just not going to do it. I could probably fillet it if I went back, broke it back up, but I don't want to. But really, this is just a guide for the hole that you're going to make. Let's bring the fillet back up. And we're going to take the fillet. And cut the now you can kind of see how the screw is sitting inside that. I left the screw as being translucent, 50% visibility, transparency. Okay, come on. So that's going to be the first part of that. We're going to chamfer this side 1 millimeter. Say okay. because we're going to be putting a rod we make in part 2 of this video series into that chamfer there. So, file, let's save this, documents, new folder, let's see, engineering designs, Solidworks. Oops. Okay, where'd it go? And I'm going to call the file Guide Rod Assembly Part 1. Okay, that's the end of this part. See you later for part 2.